Good morning. December 19th, changes for the week. Corn up 3 cents. Soybeans down 27. Chicago Board of Trade wheat down 20 cents. And yet Minneapolis wheat up 2 cents. So both corn and wheat close higher for the week, but soybeans and Chicago wheat continue those downtrends. Live cattle this week, on the other hand, up $1.25. Feeders up 5.50 with the cattle on feed report Friday, maybe a bit friendly. Gold up $59 for the week. Silver, really silver, the all-star performer here, up $5.48. That was about 10% price improvement this week. Crude oil down 72 cents, not much change there. Cattle on feed report Friday afternoon, so we'll see the impact of this Monday morning. Estimated on feed numbers 98.2%, actual 98, just a slightly friendly 0.2% smaller than expected, but still smaller numbers than last year. Placements 89% versus expected 90.9. This is probably the most bullish number, minus 1.9% from traders' expectations. Marketing's 88%, a little smaller than expected at 88.5. Actually, minus 0.5, that takes away some of the bullishness of the placements number. A bit bullish, maybe, but of course, cattle have gained lately the last few weeks as it already built in the market. Corn prices, dipping lower and then rallying back, actually gaining 2 cents for the week. So holding that uptrend with the gains later in the week. Soybeans, the opposite condition. Actually, we've had 6 straight days down. Usually downtrends end if you get 7 straight trading days. Usually that's when you'd say a downtrend would end. We filled this gap this week. And also we are bouncing up against this uptrend line very quickly. So the question is, will we hold that bull market? But what a run in the soybeans, running higher, making a head and shoulders, right shoulder, head, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, breaking that neckline, dropping all of that distance and more as we fill this gap and roll forward. Will we hold that uptrend? That is the question. In the wheat market, Chicago wheat making new lows this week and holding them. This has the potential to be a double bottom, though, so that wouldn't be so bad. Minneapolis wheat making new lows and a nice upside reversal on Thursday, follow through on Friday, actually showing gains for the week along with the corn market. In your crude oil market, bouncing down to this old low, under $56. Actually, this may be a place to buy your energy needs, maybe even, 50% for the next year. And maybe if you went with call options on the other 50%, that would be a lower risk way to own energy prices at basically the lowest price in the past year. Gold market continuing to rally back. Now we had what was a potential top and hanging around here, forming this pennant formation, breaking out of it to the upside. That is a bullish formation and indicates gold prices will probably go higher, maybe make new highs, at least matching that old high. And here's that silver market, the star performer this week, gaining about, maybe 9%, just about 10%, and making new all-time 6,000-year highs. The last markets we're looking at are cattle. We've had this great recovery. We get the bullish report Friday afterwards. We still haven't filled this gap fully on the live cattle market, but certainly knocking on the door. And the key question then is, will this end up being the top for the market? And is this just a 50% recovery, or do cattle run back up and even try to test those old highs? And here we are in the feeder cattle market. Feeder cattle, same thing, basically going from 380 to 300, rallying and back up to 339, 340 in that gap area right now with a bullish report Friday. How will the market react tomorrow morning? So you've got some interesting developments here in the markets, continuation of the uptrend in the precious metals, cattle recovering this week with a bullish report on Friday, and grains, two opposite directions, actually. Corn and Minneapolis wheat gaining for the week, holding the uptrends in corn, holding the double bottom in spring wheat. But Chicago wheat, has that double bottom, and will it continue to go lower? And soybeans, of course, head and shoulders top, marking running down against support. Will we hold that uptrend? It's interesting questions. We will probably get some answers next week. But as we enter Christmas week, usually a very quiet week in the markets, but certainly silver is not quiet recently, running to new 6,000 year highs. Hope you have a great weekend and good marketing.